how to grow an email list. This is Marketing for Owners, a podcast, episode 154, on a Thursday. Growing an email list, one of the most common, or how to grow an email list, how do you start, how do you expand it, one of the more common things I get asked. For most people, when they're starting a marketing system, they start with hardly anything or nothing. So how do you grow it from zero? Especially when you hear about people who talk about their email list of 700,000, 80,000, 5,000, 1 million. Some do have them like that. They've been building them for years, and quite often they've been paying. But you're listening to expert internet marketers who've done this for years, who are there in the early days, who continuously do this. They spend a lot more money than you think doing it, put a lot more effort in. How do you start when you've got nothing? So, first thing is the website. Your website needs to be set up properly so that when anyone comes to any page of your website, there is a lead capture, meaning you're going to get their email, and it needs to be set up with an email service provider, such as, and this is different to your internet service provider. So what I'm talking about here is someone like Aweber or MailChimp or Infusionsoft or GetResponse or people like that. We use Aweber, it's our favorite. We also use MailChimp on a couple of other websites, but Aweber is my absolute favorite. And to be honest, whichever one you start with, and by the way, Infusionsoft does a lot more, but is a lot more expensive. Possibly not something you want to start with, very confusing, often known as Confusionsoft, but hey, people get through there. But so if you go with Aweber, I think if you go to our website, marketingforowners.com / is it Great Tools? In the top menu, there is a link to Great Tools. There's a link to Aweber, and I think you gets you a free trial for a month, so you can just give it a go, see what it does. So get a lead capture form on your website and on every page. Secondly, do not just say sign up for our newsletter or sign up to get our updates. People aren't interested. In one of my recent podcasts on a weekend challenge, I said unsubscribe from all the rubbish that you're not reading. You want people to want to get value. So give them a choice. So they're going to give you permission to market to them, which means giving a name and an email. You, in exchange, want to give them something of value, a bribe, a lead magnet. Now that can be a course, or it can be an ebook, it can be a report, it can be a white paper, it can be daily tips, it can be anything. It's going to be specific or to your trade. You need to try. Don't think you're going to hit it out of the park with the first one. You may spend all your effort doing it, and it may be just slightly the wrong thing. The one that works for us, especially, is if you go to marketingforowners.com /71, or if you go to the website and look at the blog or the podcast pages, you'll see in the right-hand side bar there is an image for it. It's a report of all the tools we use. Sign up for that and see how we do it. Now that gets a lot of sign-ups every day, but we put it in various places. And there's other ways. You can, if you're in the USA, you can actually text 33444 and text 71 tools, no spaces, and you'll even get it in your email inbox via that. Dead clever. We don't hassle you, don't worry. So, a good lead magnet. You need to give value. There are lots of good lead magnets. You need to give them something specific for them. So the next thing is you need to know who your target audience should be, because you need to be talking just to your target audience. If you're just trying to build a massive email list of insignificant people, you're going to waste your time, you're going to waste your money. Why do you want to talk to somebody about a subject they're not interested in? It's not a numbers game. You're probably not going to publish how many people are on your email list. If you've got 200 on your email list, you can sell good products to them. I think it's David Simon Garland said that's in his first offer. He made something like $5,000 or $8,000 of a product with an email list of 200 because he kept them engaged, gave them value. So, and remember, that's the second P. So the first P, your presence. Second P, your potential customers you need to aim for. Third P, permission. The next one is, I'm just going to go back to value. As well as getting them on your email list, you need to keep them on your email list. So you need to what's called lead nurture. You need to lead nurture via email. Now this is where we go from the third P, permission, to the fourth P of purchase, making their first purchase. This is the period where you get them to know, like, and trust you. Do not hit them with a sale. So every email you send is going to give them something of value. Explain a case study, explain what you do, explain how you got to where you are, explain something that teaches them a lesson where after reading it, they are better informed than when they started. Something that they may well tell their friends they ought to get. Every now and again, of course, you can pitch them a sale, but don't go all out on sales. It's not about sales. You've got to build up the trust. I'm going to suggest you go for, unless it's a short offer thing, I'm going to suggest you wait till you go to sort of 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 emails before you even mention. And even then, softly sell. Don't overtly sell. Just suggest it. Just hint at it. This approach works. This is the long-term approach. Softly, long-term approach will get you these. Other ways to get opt-in. So, top of the page on the home page. Again, go to the Marketing for Owners. You'll see one. That's for joining the free Owners Club. That also puts you into an email list. You can unsubscribe anytime. Doesn't matter. Just test it. See what happens. Sign up for other people's as well, by the way, just to see what they do. Top people, see what kind of emails they send out, see how they deal with it, and then copy their style. Copy the emails, reword them for your trade. Simple. You can do it with mine. Just copy, see what I do. It does work. It'll work for you. Do change the words and the links though, because that'll work for me otherwise. But get a link in the sidebar. Get a link in the article. Get a link at the end of the article. If you enjoyed this, enter your email for etc. Also, one that works well for us, if you look at articles that get published on a Thursday, quite often they have what's called a cheat sheet or a checklist or an add-on. Just here's a quick summary, grab it for free. Those are free. That is also an email opt-in. We have email opt-ins all over the place. Also, on our Twitter profile, instead of coming direct to the website, you'll go to a landing page that is an email opt-in that offers value. Same on Facebook. There'll be a late capture there. It would be the same on other social media platforms. Don't go over the top, just do it gently. Once you get a few, you'll find it will build, and then you'll find you'll add more different things. You'll add a free ebook, a free course, a free tip sheet, all sorts of things so that it captures everybody and it gradually builds. Don't look at it week by week, perhaps monitor it monthly. 6 months, from nothing, 6 months you might have 500, you might have 2,000, you might have 5,000, depends what kind of business you're in. But once you get, it'll grow logarithmically from that. Get your website traffic up. Email lists should be built from now. Not next week, now. The most important thing, this is how you are going to build your business. Start and get better. Okay? So, now was that enough? Did that help? If you want more tips, by the way, you can always email me, just info@marketingforowners.com. We read every one, and if they're for me, just put for John in the title, that's Jon, and it will come through to me, don't you worry. Now it's podcast time. This is very good if you run a small business. This is from Steve Chou, Chou spelled C-H-O-U. It is called, ridiculously, My Wife Quit Her Job. His website is mywifequitherjob.com. And it's exactly as that. When his wife got pregnant, they decided they don't want to have their high-powered job anymore. She didn't want to go back to work, so they decided to start a business from home. They built an e-commerce thing. They actually sell linen. They sell wedding handkerchiefs. Can you believe there would even be a market? Well, they built that and did $100,000 in their first year. They've done exceptionally well since then. And Steve now teaches people how to build an online e-commerce store. Excellent business. He's got more information than anyone I've ever seen. He's a lovely guy. The podcast quite often interviews people who've used his system and been successful, but other people who've done it. Really worthwhile. My Wife Quit Her Job with Steve Chu. Go to iTunes. Give him a rating afterwards. Give me one too, please.